what's up, everyone? It's Austin and DeAnna here from AppSheet Training. We're excited to have you guys on our live stream today. So this week, we're going to be talking about no-code business automation made simple. And we have a special announcement today that we're both really excited to share with y'all. So what's up, DeAnna? How's your day going?
Now. It's exciting. Today is Friday. Oh, it's just so good. So good. I thought yesterday was Friday for a while, and then realized real quick it was not.
That happens.
It was sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sweet.
Austin,
well,
what's your favorite day of the week?
My favorite day of the week. That is a hard one. I do like Mondays.
Oh, whoa.
I do, just because I think about all the cool things that we're going to get to do the next week over the weekend. And so when we get to Monday, I finally get to start doing all the things. So Mondays are pretty fun, and we have some cool things going on around the office on Mondays. But Fridays are a good day at Crew because have our lunch day. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Jeremy.
What's your favorite
Austin,
day of the week?
I gotta say, my favorite day of the week is about as opposite to you as our shirts are today. But my favorite day of the week, I think, is a Tuesday or Saturday. So, just one day after your two. But Tuesdays are always like really productive. Jeremy, I'm going to take that as you like my shirt, and I'm going to say thank you. But Saturdays are just so sweet. Yeah.
Saturdays are fun.
I'm coaching seven-year-old girls soccer team on Saturdays right now. And so it's always hilarious to kick off a Saturday with some 7th-grade girls or 7-year-old girls.
Playing soccer.
Thanks, Jeremy. I really tried for this shirt to look awesome today,
Nice. Yeah. My son's playing t-ball too, and me and my dad are coaching his team. So that's been a lot of fun. He's really getting into baseball. We took him to see the Astros. Shout out to everyone in Houston. So yeah. Really.
And I have not been to a baseball game yet this season, and I think I need to change that very quickly. So, Jeremy, I gotta say, if you ever get the chance to meet Austin in person, he owns so many fun shirts. It makes it pretty hardcore to keep up with how awesome he likes to wear shirts.
Yeah. I have decided to start wearing some of those fun shirts on our live streams. We've been talking about it around the office for a little bit. I usually wear my crew shirt, but I was like, you know what? It'd be fun to start wearing some of these shirts live. So here we go.
Oh, in Poland, Wednesdays are small Saturdays. Man, that would make Wednesdays so much better if that's how I thought about them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, and then Jeremy working from home. Yeah, I feel that when the pandemic first hit, I was putting a whole university online, and I never knew what day of the week it was. It was like we're just here. I used to say we were dressed up from the waist up because sometimes there were pajama pants. Just being honest there for you, Austin.
Yeah. I did some work from home myself when I was teaching. But I always went with the motto of had to get ready for work. That way I felt like I was working still.
Yeah. So. You're a better human than me.
That's what I did. But yeah.
No, during that season we were working from I think we started at 6 a.m. and then went to 11 p.m. And so it was no, you got nothing.
Oh my gosh, that is a long work. It wasn't like that. I was in public education, public school, K through 12. So that was a little bit different world than the higher ed. Yeah.
Jeremy wearing a top hat for your wedding in November. Well, first of all, congrats on a wedding. But second of all, a top hat. That's incredible.
Yeah. Nice. Me and DeAnna were just talking about when one of the guys at crew recently got married, and we were talking about my wedding, and I was telling her about when me and my wife got married, all the crazy stories from. If you guys don't know, I really like metal or rock and roll, and so there's a little bit of insight into my life. But so we had some cool theme songs at our wedding.
Yeah, this man is kind of not telling you the full story here, so I'm just gonna blow that wide open.
Okay.
This man with this awesome shirt y'all are staring at right now played metal to walk down the aisle of his wedding.
Yeah.
So I told him that I needed to hear what song it was because I keep picturing it in my head and I'm just like, I just don't know how that was allowed. I'm just not sure. So I will get back to y'all very soon once I hear about this song.
Yeah. It was
so
fun though. Fun times. Congratulations, Jeremy. It's super exciting to get married. So awesome. Sweet. All right. Well, nice.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. Yeah. So getting back on topic to our regularly scheduled event. So this week we're talking about no-code business automation made simple. And to kind of kick things off, we have a little icebreaker question for me and DeAnna, but also for anybody that wants to chime in the chat. We love getting y'all's feedback. So our icebreaker today is, what is your favorite way to learn a new skill and why? And I'll let DeAnna kick us off.
So Austin, it's always a thought to me because I'm quite the opposite of what I thought I would be. But I really like to be very boring when learning a new skill. I want to sit with music in my ears, no one talking to me, and I just want to try and figure it out myself. All right. So I want to read it or see it and not talk to you.
All right. Yeah.
But that being said, I have studied, I have a background in education psychology. And so I've looked at how we learn and how our brain works. And so in designing this, every course that's designed through me, I think about it like a well-done orchestra. So at times it's exciting and it's loud and it's punchy, and at times it's soft and it's flowy, unlike your metal music at a wedding. But it ebbs and flows. And so that's how our courses are designed to fit any person that comes in and learns with us here at AppSheet Training. So what about you?
I actually really enjoy learning with video content, visuals, almost. I have to see it done by somebody first and then have them explain the content to me, why it works this way, why you shouldn't do it this way, and kind of that, what is it called? Like an example and non-example type of teaching. And that really works well for me because then I can see like, okay, here's how to do this thing, and here's a common error that you would think would work, but it doesn't actually work that way.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really love about no code, and I've been talking a lot about around the office, is the magic of no code, because you feel like you're making something happen that is like magical when you're done with it. Well, and also like with coding, you could have one thing written wrong and it like you don't know until late, and then it just screws everything up, and it could be like one backslash and it's like, God, but with no code, it feels like you see the effect of your actions quicker. Yeah.
So the magic gets to happen in a more efficient way, it feels like at times.
It's almost like instantaneous too.
Yeah.
And then just like piecing together all the logic There's a hint about what's coming.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
That's going on behind the scenes, and then creating that experience for your users of your app. It just speaking into the music side of things a little bit is like a lot of times when you're writing songs or writing music, you're creating that live atmosphere for the speakers or for headphones.
Yeah.
And in no code, you want to create that experience for your users through database, expressions for AppSheet, and building out that logic. And so understanding like the behind the scenes of how all that stuff works really pieces all that together for me. So the way I like to learn, to kind of wrap it up, is through videos and watching professionals do all that. Sweet. Looks like
again,
Jeremy,
y'all, if you want to contribute to that question as well, I'd love to hear what is your favorite way to learn a new skill and why? So pop it in the chat if you'd like to. See, we have some people with us, so yeah.
Jeremy said, I'll throw it up here. So he says he's a mechanic originally, so I have the mindset that you'll never fully understand something until you break it apart and put it back together at least once. That is a cool concept right there, Jeremy. Really like that. So
I do have to say, Jeremy, it reminds me of the time my mother would remind this too. I intentionally took apart the vacuum cleaner because I wanted to see if I could change its design into a new thing after watching the Jetsons. I'm dating myself here, but you know. And so she came out, and what should have been on the bottom of the vacuum as the base was on the side, but it worked. Yeah. And I was like feeling real good, and she was ticked because she was like, "You broke my vacuum." So I think from that day on, I knew I could not be an engineer and make my mom happy. So I didn't.
Nice. Yeah. Sweet. All right, guys. Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, again, super excited for everyone who has joined. Again, if you want to share how you like to learn best and kind of what you're working on AppSheet right now, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our special event. So this is No Code Business Automation Made Simple. If you're joining us just right now, I'm Austin from AppSheet Training, and then I'm joined with DeAnna. And what we're going to do today is we're going to have some Q&A with DeAnna, and then we're going to go into the new course release. So DeAnna's going to share that with you, and then we'll wrap up with live Q&A. So make sure you're sticking around, sharing your questions in the chat. DeAnna will be there to answer those questions. And so, any questions you have, just go ahead and throw it in the chat. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our Q&A with DeAnna. So again, if you're joining for the first time, DeAnna, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you and what you do here at Crew.
So hi, I'm DeAnna. I don't often join on our live stream, so this is exciting today. So first of all, thank you, Austin, for letting me be here. I am the Director of Training Operations here at Crew Tech. And so I work with structure of just company, but also with all training building. So any kind of building of training or helping execute training packages that we offer, write certifications, all of that is done through me. I work with a team of developers that are also doing development and retainer projects with Crew. And so we're keeping stuff up to date. Super exciting. We launched an LMS last month, and with our new subscription plan, and so it's been lively here at Crew, but it's been so incredible. I have a background in instructional design. I worked for some universities in Texas before this, and then was also a teacher for about 10 years / administrator. Had a few careers in my life.
Nice.
But very excited to be here today and to be a part of the team at Crew.
Sweet. Yes. We're so excited for DeAnna to be able to join us today, and excited to have her here at Crew. She's been doing amazing things, and it's just very, very valuable to our company. So super excited and thankful to have you here with us, DeAnna. All right, so to get us started with Q&A, DeAnna, we are releasing a new course today. Super excited about it. So if you're on the professional subscription, you already have access to it. If you're not, we'll talk about that more at the end. Can you tell us a little bit about why business logic is an essential part of the app development process?
Well, first of all, Austin, we need to we gotta be excited.
Yeah.
We gotta just, So here at Crew, I gotta tell y'all, I am the only girl in the whole office. And so every now and then the guys walk around and they'll do this thing where they're just like, and do this like flexing, like where they show their muscles. And so if you're in the audience right now and you're just not feeling excited enough, go ahead and do a little flex, and somehow it like refreshes your soul. So yeah. All right. So we're releasing a new course today called Logic and Expressions. Super excited. And the main function of it is business logic. And so in learning about business logic, it took me back to a term called CRUD, which is create, read, update, and delete rules based on scripted in a database. So it's using rules to tell what's happening in data. Problem is, those rules are not comprehensive enough to accomplish personalized business practices, problems, solutions, all of that. And so what I realized is that we really needed a course to be able to say, hey, we have CRUD with our database, but we need to apply business logic to that to be able to accomplish building personalized apps for our businesses to be able to function in a way that is necessary to meet expectations of everyone in that organization. So we've built a course on that, and it's incredible. When we first started, I was like, not sure how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Gotta figure this out. And now I am like, I think this is my favorite course so far.
Nice.
So the whole course keeps that at the forefront. So what business logic needs to apply to an already built app. Because the greatness about AppSheet is I can build an app within about 3 minutes, I could execute an app and it could somewhat do something,
Right. It's got the data there.
Yeah, it's got the data there. It has a somewhat of a look of an app. Yeah, it needs some cleanup. Yeah, it needs some settings done. But essentially, I can build an app within an hour and it be what I need it to be.
Yeah.
But what we've done is we've said, okay, in this course, you're going to start with a started app, and then we're going to move into a direction of enhancing that app with business logic.
Right.
So.
Sweet. All right. So can you give us an insider's view of these topics, concepts, and strategies that people can expect from this course?
Yeah. So Austin, at the beginning of this whole thing, you asked what our favorite way to learn is.
Yeah.
And I told you that although mine is sitting quietly in a coffee shop with some music in my ears, being boring, most people that's not the case. They need to be able to touch, see, execute things, and see if it works or not. All of that needs to be able to happen. And so we built this course with that in mind. So within this course, there is a variety of content, but it stems from creating business logic and the application of that creation within AppSheet. And then really dives into, I leaned on our developers in this, and they did an incredible job showing up for it, because I asked them, hey, I don't want to present knowledge that can be Googled. I want to present best practices and experiences that we have had at Crew with companies we've worked for, because we've worked for so many people building apps for their organizations. And so our developers stepped in. And so everything that is taught within this course is related to a best practice that a developer has experienced or a problem that they have solved.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this course are the labs. So we've already released a course kind of like this in terms of the variety of content.
Yeah.
But in this course, we have changed the way we're doing labs in that every lab is presented as a problem. So sneak peek. One of the problems is, hey, all users can see all of this one thing in the app. How do I fix it to where only admin can see that spot? Which is
Right.
a very real problem in an
Mhm.
organization. And so that lab is fully based on solving that problem.
Nice.
So you're leaving and being able to apply each of those problems to each of your personalized apps.
Nice.
Super great.
Yeah.
And then,
Mhm.
sorry, Austin.
You're good.
The biggest thing is that everything about this is walking through and drawing back on the business logic and how do we create, read, and update and delete data or whatever else we need in our applications and manage our user experiences through the lens of use cases in our business, applying business logic.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about the labs and getting that practical experience um, with actual with the application
Yeah.
because I feel like that's the next step to generalizing the skill of being an app developer. Um, like you said it initially, it's easy to create an app in AppSheet and to get the product out. And even if it's like a personal app or even a business app, for those of you that are citizen developers, just creating apps for your specific job function, being able to take this course, if you're a pro subscriber, you can really start building out the advanced features that you're wanting inside of your business applications, because you now know the why behind building business applications, and that was kind of what I was alluding to with like the magic of no code. It's like I want to create this feature in my app, and I know like in my head how that would work, but what's the best way to make it work? Why should I do it this way? How do I set up my database and tie in all the expressions and logic
Yeah.
to
Well, and
create
one of the
that?
things is like some expressions, for instance, like ifs and switch, you can use both of them
Yeah.
on the exact same need at
Yeah.
times and it work.
Right.
But, like that's one of the things we cover in the course. When should
Yeah.
I use ifs versus when should I use switch?
Yeah.
Or when should I use an in function or expression and not this one? And it's like
Yeah.
we dive into not only solving business problems using business logic, but
Yeah.
how do I use, like, when do I use what expressions? And what
Yeah.
is that? Like, we are truly in this course building a foundation of these are types of expressions. And not only that, this is when and why and how to use
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So,
And the
yeah,
cool thing about that is it's from experienced developers. Like
right.
the guys that are making these courses, that's what they do all day long, every day, working with their clients. And they are building these applications to run businesses
Yeah.
within AppSheet. And so,
Can I
yeah,
just give them a shout out real quick?
yeah, give them a shout
I
out.
gotta say, two of our developers led the whole design of this course, and it was Craig and Justin. So if you've worked with Craig or Justin, I would love to know in the chat. And then Cameron, another one of our developers, helped with all of the design as well as reviewing the course to make sure it was what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend Clark,
Let's go,
man,
Clark.
Clark did so much in this to make sure that it covered in detail everything that it needed. So he took what was written in this course and then just went deeper and made it richer. So if you've worked with any of those guys, if you want to say, what you think in the chat, that would be awesome because they made this happen and it's been the sweetest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's awesome. Really love working with those guys. And I mean, you guys have probably watched some of their webinars. Also, a lot of y'all have probably seen Justin's Task Tracker app on YouTube. And if you've learned stuff from those guys, like DeAnna said, throw it in the chat. We love to hear what y'all have learned from them and what you're using to build out your AppSheet apps. So yeah, huge shout out to our development team.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So DeAnna, how does this, another thing that we have for professional subscribers is we have that AppSheet certification. So how does this course that we've added help our students with that?
Yeah, so our certification is the Business Application Creator Cert, which is, oh man, that was fun to make. But this course, along with a couple of others, actually have built what is representative in that course.
Yeah.
And so, or what in that certification, sorry, words.
Yeah.
And so taking that course will better prepare you for that certification. It's not an easy one. I'm just letting y'all know. It's a little challenging.
It's intense.
But yeah, this course works right alongside AppSheet Essentials and document generation to prepare you for that certification.
Nice. And what do they get? What does the certification do?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
So first of all, it's a pretty large test that you have to show 80% mastery of the content to be able to earn the certification.
Nice.
So it takes a little bit of brain power and work to get there. But with it, you get a detailed thing of what's included in that certification and the measurable outcomes of it. So because, you know, if I just make a certification for you and say, Austin, you are certified for wearing cool shirts, and you took that to your boss, it would mean nothing to him because how do you define cool shirts?
Right.
And so in making an AppSheet certification, it was like, I need people to be able to take this and it means something to whoever they present it to.
Yeah.
So we've made it where you can walk into your boss's office and say, hey, I'm certified in this, or you know, a future company from your resume, whatever. I'm certified in this. Yeah. And these are the 18 things that I can do and that I've showed mastery of based on this certificate. So,
and they can link it to their social profiles, right?
Yeah. Once you've passed the certification, within the AppSheet training profile, you are given a PDF or a certificate you can print. You're given a little certification badge that you can represent on resumes, LinkedIn, anywhere that you can load a PNG or JPEG. Yeah. So yeah, all of that's there and done on passing that test.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking to get that certification, highly recommend this course and the other courses on that page, so that you can get certified as a business application creator. Is that right? And then continue on your AppSheet learning journey and level up those skills. All right. Yeah. So let's keep going. What are the different types of learning experiences people can expect from this new course?
Funny story, Austin. I tried to answer that question 2 questions ago, and then I realized I wasn't answering that question.
Here we go.
No. So with this new LMS, I have redesigned how we do courses. And so within this course, again, we thought about how people learn best and the fact that we are not all the same. Yeah. And so hence our shirts, Austin. But within this course, there is written content. There are videos from our expert developers. There are written handouts that are printable, and not just like crappy designed handouts. Like, we have taken time to say, if I were designing an app, what are things I need at my fingertips to make that design more efficient and more accurate? And so we've made handouts around that concept. And also, I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek today, maybe. And then we have also done so many labs. And so within those labs, you're creating things for the apps and you are running with the concepts you are learning. And then you leave with that app. It's yours. Yeah. So you're getting that sandbox app to be able to take and make your own, or to build from, or whatever, but it's yours. And then lastly, there are quizzes, and some people are like, ugh, but as I told you, I studied education psychology, and if I were to just teach you content, if I were to just play you a video and never have you apply that knowledge within that learning experience, your
Yeah.
retention of that would only be about 20%, according to research.
Yeah.
And so if you can quiz and experience the learning you're doing, that 20% changes to 80 to 90%. And that was where I camped out. And so throughout this course, there are quizzes and labs where you are having to build alongside us. You are having to test your knowledge all right in that experience so that when you leave us, you can actually do what you've learned. And so, yeah, it's exciting. The course focuses on a couple of things that I just want to point out real quick.
Yeah.
User experience. So from whether that be an admin or just an employee, the efficiency of runtime in your applications and how that's affected based on what expressions are used.
Yeah.
And then the accuracy of expressions based on the data type, return types that you activate within AppSheet. And so that's all covered. So yeah, it's extensive. This course is chocked full of all kinds of things for you.
Sweet. All right. So kind of wrapping up this portion, what are the new courses in the pipeline? And then we will get to our new course release.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So the new courses in the pipeline, man, we finished one course and we had 2 more already rolling, and it was like, we are in this.
Yes.
The first one that will be released next month. Yeah.
Nice.
Next month is Advanced Logic and Expressions, leveraging expressions for automation. And so this is going to take what we have built here with the basics, the foundations of business logic, and this is going to run wild. Yeah. Like, so when do I use a select expression, and what power do I have with it? And how do I, when, why, where, how do I implement this expression? It's going to run into like covering relevant updates that have happened in AppSheet with Expression Mastery. And it's also going to help you just create feature-rich applications, leveraging expressions to do more, like just more. Because again, we can make basic apps very easily, but when we have those kind of expressions that really dive deep, the power is just incredible. So the other course coming is a course on automations. It will also be released next month. So surprise, usually we'll release one course a month. I just trying to make this exciting. So I'm going to release 2 in 1 month. All right. So, everybody likes a challenge. So automations have had a lot of updates lately. And I've gotten a lot of questions on how to use a bot. What can I do with a bot? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to cover that in a course. It's going to be great. So that course is going to take what you've learned in logic and expressions, both of them, the advanced course and the regular one, and it's going to run with applying all of that to build every kind of automation possible in AppSheet.
Nice.
And then the last one that will be covered for this summer is
Hang on, DeAnna. I just have to show this. Look at what Jeremy says. I'm excited. Woo!
So I'm about to really excite Jeremy because he used the key term that we needed. So the other one coming this summer is document generation. We have a document generation course in our course library for that professional subscription.
Yeah.
But we refreshed it. We made it. That course just received an upgrade. So we are going to re-release that course. Probably give it a new name. Keep the other one there for you too. But that document generation course is going to take all those feature-rich options that you've learned about in the other courses and the automations that you know how to do. And it's going to say, hey, now that you've done all of that, let's teach you how to extend AppSheet to your email inbox. Like, let's just run wild with what's possible here.
Awesome.
Are we excited?
I'm excited. All right. So I'm excited to see the course. Can you give us like a preview of it? And I'll go ahead and switch my screen to our new course release. So I'm excited to actually see the new course. We've talked a lot about it and heard all the great things that are inside of it. So if you have a pro subscription, this is available to you now, and you can go and explore the new course yourself with us. Also, the link for this course is in the description. So if you click on Logic and Expressions course in our YouTube description on this video, you can access this course and kind of see what's inside. But if you want to start taking the course, you have to have that pro subscription. Good news is, if you haven't heard already, you get a 7-day free trial. So no risk to sign up for the course and kind of get started at your own pace. And you got 7 days to check it out, see if it's right for you, and then go from there. Learn some new things about AppSheet. All right, DeAnna, take
Austin,
it away.
just to stall a little bit, I do want to state that too. Every one of these courses is asynchronous, which translates to you do it on your own time. There is nothing scheduled. There is nothing that is like needing to interrupt your workday if it doesn't, if you don't have time. And this is a like upgrade from our expression mastery bootcamp that we used to do. So yeah, real quick, if you click see details of any course, we have laid out what the course covers, as well as each thing that you will be able to do by the end of the course. And so it's just a good way to see really quickly, like, hey, I need to know about row level expressions. Okay, this is the course I would do that in. So are we ready?
I'm ready, DeAnna.
All right. I'm going to hit get started, and it's going to be great.
Sweet. The anticipation.
I know.
Awesome.
So this is our new LMS. And within it, you're welcome to the course. You see the modules on the side. You see a progress bar at the top. You have access to all of our things because of a pro subscription account. Yeah, so in this course, we have 3 different big modules. They are chocked full in those modules. But let me just show you a couple elements. How about that, Austin?
Yeah.
So this is an example of a written content page. It's just welcoming you because, I'm not going to give you everything here. You gotta. But let me show you, one of our documents.
Yeah.
So we have live videos of our, not live. We have videos of our developers walking through things. We have all of these are downloadable, and you can click on any image and it expand right there in your screen. You can print these. You can bookmark them. You can whatever you need there.
Sweet.
The other thing we have are
I do want to note one thing. Those PDFs, you can highlight the text, right? And you can save those expressions. Also, if you have the free subscription, you have access to AppSheet Toolbox, so you can add snippets and then load those expressions here straight into your AppSheet Toolbox. So this is just expanding what you can do with AppSheet and making it so much more powerful.
Yeah, those PDFs are all run through OCR with Adobe, and so you can highlight text, you can use it with a screen reader, all of that. So yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
So then this page is one of our labs, and I'm going to fly through it kind of quick, but each lab has a document that you can print and work through. So if you'd rather do that instead of read it on the screen, you can do that. It walks through the how and why. It gives pictures of the app that you're actually building in, so you can see where are we working, how are we doing it. There's questions embedded throughout. There's views of each expression. And then there's a live walkthrough of each of the labs so that you can see the instructor doing everything that was mentioned here, as well as work through, okay, I need to make sure my app matches this before moving on. So all of that's done there.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you real quick to math operators. I was a math teacher, Austin, and I just real love math,
Yes.
But here we have call out boxes. So and this one's a basic one, but throughout the course, it's like, I told you earlier, why would I use ifs instead of switch? Or what's the risk of using switch? those kind of things, those best practices and tips are in these boxes from our developers. So I had them go through and say, like, this is something we need to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then the quizzes. So right here, right in the midst of learning, you're getting to test yourself on, did I understand this concept? We made sure in these questions to make sure that they were not easy. Not because we wanted to be mean to y'all, but because we wanted to make sure that you were understanding the content being presented,
Mm-hmm.
and that the common mishaps that are often found in our work were representative in these questions.
Mm-hmm.
So these questions prepare you well for the certification that we offer, and they also make sure that you're clear on what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Sweet.
that's what I got for you, Austin.
That is awesome. Like I said before, I really love in this new environment, this new LMS, that we have the ability to see the lab walkthroughs for one, but also the PDF downloads and then the quizzes.
Yeah,
One of the things I've talked a lot about is the ability to generalize a skill from just how I like to learn with just seeing it done to actually practically experiencing a business problem.
yeah.
And I think this new way of learning is accomplishing just that. So,
Yeah. And I want to speak out real quick to Jeremy's comment. Jeremy, one of my jobs when I worked for instructional design with the university was to think about how people learn dealing with dyslexia, or how people learn dealing with ADHD, or how people learn dealing whatever, and to build content based on those things and with those things in mind. And so here at Crew, I'm training our developers and our graphic designer in best practices for making learning available to anyone that walks in our doors. So that being said, if there's ever something y'all come across in our courses that's like, I'm struggling with this because I'm the person you reach out to, and you shout out and let us know, because our goal is to build citizen developers. And if that's the case, then anybody that enters into our courses should be able to be successful. And that's
for
the goal.
sure. Yeah. Awesome. Well said, DeAnna. I completely agree with that. And like Jeremy, I've mentioned it to you before, DeAnna, I too have dyslexia, so I'm really excited that that is integrated into our learning system. So sweet. All right. Well, we now have time for some Q&A, and we want to thank everyone that signed up for for the special event today. And we had some questions come in there that were pretty cool. So DeAnna's going to share a few of the insights of what courses you can take to kind of help you learn from those specific questions that you have. So
yeah. So first of all,
take it away. Yeah.
Thank you for submitting questions.
Yes.
The guys laugh at me at Crew because I want feedback all the time for all things. And so
that's good.
In looking at the questions that y'all sent, first of all, if you sent one and you were limited on the amount of characters you could type in, we are so sorry. That was a preset thing that we were like so frustrated by. So sorry if we didn't answer your question, or you weren't able to voice it. Please shoot us an email, let us know. We'd love to answer them for you. But the questions that were asked all related to content that we currently have available in our courses. And so I want to answer those based on the course that you could go to and find what you need. The great thing about our Pro subscription is that you literally have access to everything we offer as soon as you sign up. So let's say I only need to know about the select expression, but I know about all the others. It's just like I need a refresher. You can literally go to that course, pop into that module with that page, and get to it quickly. And then let's say I need to know, like, oh, I need to write a template expression for this. Boom. Template generation, that module, that course, you're done. So a few of the questions we had for this course is, how do I publish an app? How do I just basically use bots? Can I use AppSheet as a database? And if I wanted to create a warehouse app an order form, how would I do it? All of those questions, all of them, Austin, are
All of
answered
them.
in our AppSheet Essentials course that is available right now to you.
Yeah.
In that course, we go over every principle of AppSheet that is necessary to building a successful, functional app. So we also have a vehicle inspection app that is called AppSheet in the Fast Lane. And some of you are like, I don't need to build a vehicle inspection app, but that's not what I want you to hear there. What I want you to hear is that this course is like a fast-paced, how do I build an app in AppSheet with some very, very key features to, a document that emails to people, or a form that I'm editing the input columns. All of those things are covered in that course very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So that would also be a great one for building a warehouse app in order form.
Yeah.
The course, we also got a question about AppScript in AppSheet. That is covered mainly in the new automations course that's coming in a month, but it will also be covered somewhat in just some of the data information in that AppSheet Essentials course. So not fully. So if you're really wanting to know about AppScript, come back in June for me and grab that automations course.
Yeah.
And then using the select query and multi-column support. I'm going to tell you that is talked about in the last module of logic and expressions.
Sweet.
But it also, the select function, I believe, has an entire module dedicated to it in our advanced logic course. If it doesn't, it at least has an entire page full of using the select function and all that has to do with.
Sweet.
So yeah, those are the questions we got. So again, thank y'all for submitting them. I would challenge that if you have any others that you'd like to throw in the chat. Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah. I think we did have a few questions come in while we were live and as you were talking. So one of them was the connection speed. This is from Debugger33. So the connection speed for simultaneous use for bots in AppSheet itself. So there's kind of like two parts to the question. So this is the first part, and then he's referring to bots in AppSheet itself. So what courses would cover that, and how can you find that information?
Yeah, that will be covered in detail in the automations course that's coming out. Nice. We are looking at efficiency and runtime and which things to choose when, and how to alleviate some of the waiting that has to happen, or all of that is covered from a developer's perspective.
Sweet.
Of best practices with using bots and automation.
Awesome. All right. And not seeing too many more live chat here. If you did have any questions, feel free to pop them in, and we may have some time kind of wrapping up at the end to answer those. I did want to share one cool thing from Jeremy. As you were talking about if developers from crew that you mentioned had helped with anything, Jeremy popped in. He went from 140 columns to 67 columns because of one of the courses that he took, and was able to understand how to use the what was it, Jeremy? The is a part of feature in AppSheet, and so that really saved him some time for loading images. So a lot of times when you're building out apps, you'll run into a situation where you're like, I can make it work this way. But what our courses allow you to do is to take those practices that you've been using and make them even more efficient. It's kind of what DeAnna's courses allow you to do, because these developers do this every day, and they're looking for the most efficient ways to build these applications for their clients. And so they're giving you all of that information when you take these courses, because that's what they do on a day-to-day basis. And the clients are asking for these features to be built into their app. So they're taking their knowledge and making it available to you, so you have access to highly experienced professional AppSheet developers, which is
Yeah.
it's just great.
Well, and it's again, like, and this is the conversation every time I meet with my training team.
Yeah.
We are not building courses that are Googleable. We are building courses that are rich in like content, like
Yeah.
Jeremy just said performance improvement like you would not believe. That's the
Yeah.
goal, that every
Yeah.
time you walk into Crew and you experience our courses, that you walk away with something that you couldn't have just Googled.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
just
Sweet.
yesterday I was building a page about slices, and when would be a good time to use a slice instead of some other options that you could do to separate that data. And it was like, man, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Slices are fun. And
they're so fun.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's really interesting about these AppSheet courses is like there's certain concepts that exist in the AppSheet platform, but there's just not a lot of information about them and how to use them correctly.
Yeah.
And so what happens when you have a trained developer that's using these and that's working with DeAnna to create these courses, it's like, oh, that's why that's there. I never knew why I should use this. Because when I was first developing, I was like, I don't want to use a slice because I don't know why I should use that. I'll just make another table or something. When in reality, the slice is a very powerful feature, just like the is a part of feature. Yeah.
Well, and it also reminds me of like our, we have a whole module on relational data and building your data set. And I had a customer one time asked me like, why are we doing that? And it was like, oh, it's essential. Like when I think about essentials of AppSheet, that is like, because most of our, for me, when I started at Crew, it was like, oh, I don't know why I need this because I'm just going to build a spreadsheet with 800 columns. And it's like, you don't have to. Like, there's a better way to make everything function easier and to make my load lighter. And it was like, oh, like, and so really diving into not just how to build an app, but how to build it well, you know? So
sweet. All right. So let's do a little bit of a review. So today we had a live Q&A with DeAnna, and then we released our new course, Logic and Expressions in AppSheet. So if you don't have access to that right now, head over to appsheettraining.com. The link is in the description to get access to that course. And then we wrapped up with some live Q&A for those that registered for the special event at appsheettraining.com, and also answered a few questions here on the live stream. So thank you guys for joining. Before we close out today's session, for those of you interested in learning more, there is a way to connect with us, and we want to connect with you. We love our AppSheet training community, and we are growing. So some exciting news, how it works. When I first started tracking how many subscribers we had on this slide, we only had 3,000 subscribers, and we've grown to 4,000 community members on appsheettraining.com. Woo! So huge number. So really cool to see how many of you guys are signing up for our community. This is the free plan. So you get access to that weekly webinars, your the AppSheet Toolbox, and then all these other resources, weekly blogs, and just lots of great AppSheet training content for you guys on the community subscription. So over 4,000 subscribers, that's huge. So really excited to have a growing community over there at appsheettraining.com. So again, it's free. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. It's also in the description to sign up and get access to all this great AppSheet training content. Next step is to explore. So check out your resources, see all the blogs that we have, weekly webinars you'll have access to. And then next, you can explore some learning paths. So that's kind of getting into our professional subscription. So again, when you sign up for that community subscription, you're going to get access to weekly webinars, AppSheet Toolbox, AppSheet IQ, and blogs and articles. So you can sign up for free. There's a link here in the slideshow. Also, there's a link in the description to sign up for our community plan. And in just a minute, I'm going to share that link with you guys in the chat. So again, this one is free, and just come join our community. We love having people in our AppSheet training community. And And our professional subscription, you're going to get everything in community, plus that fully immersive learning experience. So as DeAnna shared with you, there's tons of great content in there, and it's updated every month. So we're going to continue to add new courses monthly, and you also have access to that AppSheet certification. So if you're looking to level up your career, just your skills, or land that new promotion, AppSheet certification can help you with that as well. And then you're going to get 15% off consulting. So if you want to work one-on-one with our developers, there's a few features that you want to add to your app, but you're not sure how to create those. Or you have clients that are asking you, hey, I need to add this feature to my app, but I don't know the best way to do it. Our developers are trained in that, and they'd love to connect with you and help you do that. So 15% off consulting if you have that pro subscription. Another thing I will note about that pro subscription is it's helpful for consulting to have the training kind of in your background, because then you're understanding how to build on AppSheet in the best way possible, and your consulting will go a lot further because you know best practices in AppSheet after taking the trainings. Whereas if you just jump straight into consulting, you might need a little bit of training before going into the full-fledged consulting. So make sure to have some training, make sure you know best practices in AppSheet, and you'll be good to go and really be able to use or access that consulting for the fullest potential. All right, so you can enroll today and you get that 7-day free trial, and that's our professional subscription there. And I'll throw those links in the chat now for you guys. And I also have a new course link that I'll throw in next. All right, so there's your access to get started with AppSheet training, as well as sign up for a tech talk with Kale. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. And so here's our new course. So in this new course, some bullet points for it is we have the business logic that you'll get to learn, context in AppSheet, what that is, row level expressions, how to build those out, and yes, no expressions, plus much more that you can find out on the detail page on appsheettraining.com. So here is our link to that new course, and you can access that right here in the chat, and it's also in the description. It should be that first link that you see, logic and expressions in AppSheet. So super excited to release that new course for you guys today. And again, if you're on that pro subscription, you have access to it already. If you don't, try it out for 7 days, see what you think. You're definitely going to learn a lot from that course. And our final slide, next steps and quick links. So these are all the links that you need to get connected with us at AppSheet Training. So if you just want to get started on that community subscription, check out the Get Started page. This will take you to getting started with AppSheet Training. And then if you want to connect with us, find out more information about consulting, sign up for that free tech talk with Kale, and he can talk to you about best practices and kind of next steps for getting connected with our developers. And then we also have enterprise and team trainings. So if you are an organization looking to train your team, then this would be the page to go to. And you can learn more about that by signing up for a discovery call with Kale. And then finally, wrapping up, next Thursday, weekly webinars are back. So join us for our app suite for the construction industry next week at 10 a.m. And with that, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe. And super thankful for all you guys who joined our live stream today. And thank you, DeAnna, for coming on here and sharing about the new course. Super excited.
Yes, me too. Thank you for having me, Austin, and thank you to all who joined. It was great to be here.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, enjoyed the time, and we will see you around.